It's time for Law in Our Life. That means we have Hyunjoo here in our studio. She is a local practicing lawyer and also a guest on our show. She's going to help us understand some details about the Korean legal system. Hello, Hyunjoo.
Hi.
It's great to have you here in the studio. You doing well?
Yes, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm just fine. And last week, we started talking about surrogate mothers.
Yes.
And boy, oh boy, did you ever teach me a lot. Because apparently in South Korea, the surrogate mother, the woman carrying the child that's not biologically related to them, is considered the birth mother.
Yes.
And the biological mother.
Yes.
And that contracts for surrogacy are automatically void because they're not recognized by the courts here, right?
Yes.
Crazy stuff. I'm really interesting. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to grow on that, right?
Sure. Today, you might wonder how it works in the father's side.
I'm very curious now.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how do you decide who is the father in the case of sperm donation?
Yes. There was a couple who wanted a baby. It was a real case. Mm-hmm. The husband had azoospermia, which means that he had no sperms.
Okay.
And infertile.
Okay.
So the couple decided to take advantage of sperm donor.
All right.
So they visited the hospital, and the wife got pregnant by anonymous man's sperm by vitro fertilization using egg from wife and sperm from the donor, and placed the resulting fertilized egg or embryo into the wife's womb.
All right. So now the wife is carrying a baby.
Yes.
That's hers from the egg, but not from her husband's sperm, from a donor's sperm.
Yes.
All right.
Finally, the baby was born. Great.
Sure.
Nobody claimed to be the birth father or anything.
Okay.
The couple had a second child later, and the husband believed that he became fertile
good for him.
Because they just got the baby.
Right, and that's possible.
Yes, but it was not true.
Uh-oh.
The wife had an affair with someone else.
Oh, dear.
So the second child was someone else's baby.
Okay. So how did things go down the line?
So after a few years, the couple reached a sad conclusion of getting divorced.
Okay.
Actually, that time, the husband did not know about his wife's cheating.
Oh, really?
So just during the court proceedings, he learned that the second child was not his child.
Wow.
There was another man who can be the father.
Right. Okay.
So he filed a lawsuit against the children to confirm there is no father and child relationship between them.
Right. So, of course, neither child matched.
Yep.
Right? Because the first child is from the anonymous donor. And then the second child is from the man who the wife had the affair with.
Yes.
Okay. What happened here? I'm sure this is going to get really interesting.
So it sounds like they're not related at all.
Of course.
So how the law or the judges will say about it. In the Supreme Court, it was the first time discussing whether the child who was born with the sperm of the third party with the consent of the husband can be presumed to be the child of the husband in accordance with the Civil Act, Article 844. According to the Article 844 Civil Act of Korea, when a wife got pregnant during the marriage, the child will be presumed to be the biological child of the wife's husband.
Okay.
And the only exceptions would be when the couple were separated or similar evidence situations when it was impossible to be conceived by the husband.
Okay, so if he's away on business or during the war or something.
Yes.
All right.
So such strong presumption was made to preserve the peace and the order of the family.
Okay, so you can't have any of those Jerry Springer arguments where it's saying, they don't look like me. He doesn't have my ears.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because the child was born, conceived during the marriage.
Right. Okay.
It was introduced in the past when they lacked technological or scientific tests to confirm the paternity of the child.
All right. So before DNA testing.
So it's understandable.
Sure.
Such presumption can be rebutted only through filing a lawsuit to deny such parent-child relationship.
I see. So that's the background, the Civil Act, Article 844. how did the court make a decision?
So it went through the Supreme Court, First District Court, Appellate Court, and then the Supreme Court. So it was, it was a seriously discussed issue. The Supreme Court found that for the first child who was born with the sperm from the donor is the child of the husband.
Okay.
Even though not DNA is not related.
Sure.
As the child was born during the marriage.
Yeah.
Just like the law says.
And the husband was fine with it, right?
Yes, the husband agreed that time, back then, to the whole process.
Right. Okay. Because I imagine if the husband had said, no, I don't want you getting artificially inseminated or in vitro fertilization and wasn't involved, then he wouldn't be considered the father.
It's not clear whether that can be the issue, but the court said there is ample evidence to find that he agreed because during the court proceedings he said I didn't agree and she did it by herself.
Oh, really?
But there were contradicting evidence.
Okay, so he couldn't take it back.
No.
Okay.
Also, the court added he cannot rebut it due to the principle of estoppel.
What's estoppel?
Estoppel, which basically means that a person cannot argue something that contradicts what he previously said or agreed.
Okay, so if I agree that I don't know, we're going to share a business 50-50, and later I can't say that no, that's not what I agreed to, I guess.
That's similar. Usually it's more like you said something, so based on your promise, I bought the equipment to start the business. And then you said, oh no, I just changed my mind. We're not going to do it.
Okay.
In that case, there is no valid contract, but I already spent something based on the belief that you're going to carry out your promise.
Right. So if we had some kind of kakao conversation or some kind of evidence that we made a plan, we'd use this principle of estoppel?
Yes.
Okay. I'm learning all kinds of new legal jargon.
So he said, oh, you already agreed, and now you're saying that you didn't agree or you rebut?
That's nonsense.
No.
Okay. What about the second child?
For the second child, the court found that the presumption of paternity still applies to this case, even though the DNA test says otherwise.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The husband learned that the second child was not his child. However, he failed to file a lawsuit to deny the parent-child relationship within the 2-year period.
Whoa.
According to the Civil Act, Article 847, the couple can file such a lawsuit to deny the child-parent relationship only within 2 years from the date they learn it. So he knew it, but he missed the timing to file it. So
because he didn't know his wife was cheating.
No, but when he learned it, then he had 2-year period to do it, even though he didn't know that she was cheating
But when he learned she was having a baby.
When he just learned that, this baby is not his, then he can.
Then he had 2 years. So it was too late though.
Yes.
Because it sounds like he found out during the court proceedings.
But then he didn't
He didn't do it right away.
He didn't file a lawsuit to deny that relationship back then.
Okay. So if I find out the baby's not mine, boom, the clock's ticking.
Yes.
I have 2 hours to
2 years.
Sorry, 2 hours. I have 2 years. 2 hours. Wow. Better run fast. You have 2 years to invalidate that relationship.
Yes.
After which, too late.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. I don't know how this might affect you, listeners, but
so if you want to forgive it, then it's fine. But if you are just considering it, then you should move fast.
And I guess, well, and I guess if you forgive it, that's that estoppel principle again, right? You can't forgive and then 3 years later say, I was wrong. It's not my kid. If you waited too long, I mean.
But then it might be not that, but it's because of this 2 year.
Right. It's not literally estoppel.
Yes.
But I mean, it's the same kind of thing.
Yep.
All right. Very interesting. Thank you so much for coming in. I've learned a lot. I'm sure the listeners did too. And we can look at this on the internet, right?
Sure. You can find this segment in video and my YouTube channel. You can find me by searching Korean Law 101 on YouTube.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Hyunjoo.
Thank you for having me.
That's it.